Hey everybody, welcome to Out of the Ordinary with Jay, and I am with my special guest.
Dave Johnson.
And as you can tell, even though he's sitting down, this guy works out a ton. So I thought I would ask a super buff guy some questions on working out and supplements and stuff like that. So I don't know, what do you think a lot of people miss about working out? What do you think? What do you think about working out in general? Should people be doing it even?
I think they should absolutely be doing it. I think this day and age, with not knowing what's in your food, not knowing what's in your water, I think increasing your metabolism and kind of getting those endorphins and getting your blood flowing and your body flowing is a good way for your body to start to cleanse itself. You know, whether it cleanse itself of everything or not, I don't know, but I think there's a lot of stuff that we're ingesting and eating that we don't know about, that if you're just sitting around all day not getting your body moving, you're probably not getting rid of that stuff as fast as you could.
I never thought about it that way. So what you would say is an in-shape person has a newer water filter than a person that's just got this old water filter that probably needs to be changed out.
Or it's pushing the water through the filter faster than.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's kind of cool. So what do you think a lot of people get wrong about working out?
I think people get it wrong is like they're only looking for the physical benefit, and they don't understand or think that there's going to be a mental benefit to it, where it's
meaning they underestimate that they're also going to get a mental benefit.
Right. I think.
Oh, that's good news.
And I think that for a lot of people, and myself, I think that's bigger than the physical. I can tell you that if you told me, okay, well, you're never going to grow another ounce of muscle as long as you live, I would still go just for the mental benefit.
Oh yeah, I think it definitely. Well, I mean, we know for a fact that, there's book after book, study after study about how it's a stress reliever,
Right.
Anti-anxiety, and all those various things.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're going to have an opinion on this, but like when I said what do you think one of the things are that people get wrong about working out, let's just talk about supplements for a minute.
Yeah,
and
let's do that.
Protein powders and everything under the sun, from everything they've ever advertised in Flex magazine and Muscle and Fitness. And what are your thoughts on those things?
Well, for all of you out there, Jason and I in our life have probably bought enough supplements that haven't worked to start a small city. I think the whole time growing up, I think the only thing that ever worked until I got on testosterone was actually creatine monohydrate.
Creatine worked.
Yeah.
And how did it work for you? What did it do?
Just knowing the science behind it, that what creatine does, it gets into your muscles and absorbs water, so it allows you to work out. You don't get tired in that extra set. You can do a few more sets, so it just gives your muscles the energy to go longer and to do more.
So is it also good for recovery, or is it?
Yeah, very good for recovery.
So you'd recommend that's like a base supplement everybody should be.
Yeah, and now the cool thing about it is a lot of the studies are coming out and saying it's also very good for memory and for your brain.
Right. Yeah, it's not. There's no. At least I don't have that much super knowledge on supplements, but I don't think creatine has too much of a risk profile, does it?
No.
I would recommend everybody, obviously, I'm no scientist and I don't make creatine, but I do your own homework, but I think it has a relatively low side effect profile.
Yeah, some people it can hurt their stomach.
Oh, okay.
And if you don't drink enough water on it, you can get some pretty bad cramps, but other than that, I think that's.
So what is if you're a hard gainer, or someone that, or just in general, if you're someone that really wants to like bulk up,
Mm-hmm.
and you've been at it for many years and it's just not happening, like what is the go-to move?
If we consider that your diet's good and you're eating enough protein to actually build that muscle.
Yeah, say you're doing the things that you're supposed to be doing.
I would try creatine and see, if that doesn't, get you over the hump and get you certain places. If you're getting to the age like where I was, where your testosterone was just dropping, unfortunately, there probably is a point in time where if you don't replace your testosterone, you can be in the gym for hours and hours and you're not going to get anywhere. And that's kind of where I was, where I was literally working out 2 hours away, 2 hours a day with weights, and I was losing ground, and it's disheartening. And
well, it's not. What do you call it? It's people will give up. I mean, you're not gonna. It's not sustainable if you're not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like anything, right?
Right.
If you keep doing one thing over and over and you're actually going backwards or not going forwards, people
Yeah.
will quit it. I mean, that's human nature.
Yeah. So yeah, it depends where you're at and you know what age you're at and what you're looking for. But you know, they're
Did we say how old you were? Oh, how old are you?
53.
53. Okay. And so, at what age did you say to yourself, "Hey, I got to try this testosterone"?
35.
35. Okay. And that was changing for you or impactful.
Yeah. I always tell people, I'm like, even without the physical benefits of taking testosterone, as an older person, just for what it does mentally, way clearer, not as foggy of a head.
Yeah.
Just for hair, my hair, you know, wasn't as brittle. My skin was a lot more, you know, supple and soft and not so crepe-ish. So I think it does a lot of stuff to help, along with the physical stuff. Now, I will tell you, if you're someone and you just take testosterone and you don't go to the gym, it's probably not that beneficial for you.
Right. It's a 1-2 punch. You got to do them both.
Yeah.
So what are those are some of the benefits. What are some of the side effects, would you say? Like, I know you did mention hair as a net benefit, meaning it made it less brittle, but I also know a lot of tests can make your hair start to go bye-bye.
Sure. So, any amount of testosterone you have in you, a certain amount of that testosterone can get converted to estrogen. So if you're a person that your body converts a lot of estrogen, you have to take an estrogen blocker. We all know that testosterone can also turn into dihydrotestosterone, which is what makes your hair fall out. So
DHT.
Yeah. So if that's something you worry about or something that your body does, then you would have to take something to block it.
That's kind of why you see a lot of bodybuilders that are bald. I mean, they're loading up on the testosterone and they don't care.
Yeah. I would tell anyone, if you're going to do it, do your research, do it the right way. No one person is going to react exactly the same as the next person. So I know me taking testosterone, I was worried about the estrogenic side effects. Never really had any, so I don't take any anti-estrogen stuff. But, you know, my body's just not something that produces. Now, my body will convert as much as it can to dihydrotestosterone, so I've been on something to block that for as long as I can remember.
Do you ever worry about some of the potential bigger downsides of what they claim to be testosterone, like as an example, or like bodybuilding plus testosterone, like as an example, like enlarged heart or things like that? Do those things concern you, and if so, to what degree, or do they not concern you? So if not, why? What are your thoughts on those things?
I mean, I think they should concern everyone. I mean, you should understand that, hey, there's certain things that can happen. I've been on it, but you know, and like they always tell you, it's like, oh well, testosterone increases your cholesterol. Actually, for me, being off my cholesterol off of testosterone was actually higher than on. And you know, I have a different thought on cholesterol, and I know we've talked about that before than other people, but yeah. So you know, I do as you do. Once a year, I get a full body MRI to make sure that there's nothing going wrong. And I've been on testosterone since 35, and my scans come back. I don't have an enlarged heart. I don't have any clogged veins or clogged arteries. So, you know, I wonder if you read some of the scientific papers that those were done from. A lot of them were done from people who already had heart attacks and stuff like that. So
pre-existing.
But it is also, you know, the way testosterone affects me is probably going to be different than it affects you. So, you know, if there's 10 million people on testosterone, will some of them get enlarged hearts? Absolutely.
So what would be your advice then for somebody that's considering it outside of talking to a doctor and all that stuff? Would it be to have like, labs every 6 months, an MRI once a year? Like what would you do? Like for someone that says, hey, I feel like I need this and I'd like this benefit, but I'm a little nervous and I don't want to make sure I'm, creating more problems than I'm fixing.
Yeah. I don't, I guess to me is like, I wouldn't worry about that right off the bat. I mean, you're not going to take testosterone once and your heart's going to enlarge, it's going to be years and years and years and years of it. So I would tell people, get on a low dose of it, see how you feel, decide, hey, do I want to feel like this or do I want to feel a little bit better than this? And get to a point where, hey, this is awesome. This is exactly how I want to feel. This is actually how I want my testosterone level to be. And then start doing your blood work and see where you're at and see, is anything else changing? So I would say do it every 6 months and look at your other levels. Are anything other levels changing? I would say that, if you are overweight and you start taking testosterone and going to the gym, I would argue that the benefits on your heart are way better than if you had, the 25 years down the road where it may get enlarged, because you're going to drop a ton of weight.
You're making yourself in better shape to begin.
Right.
Right. Okay. Anything else we want to talk about on working out or testosterone?
Yeah. So going back to the heart thing, I don't remember the name of the book, but there was a book done by a cardiologist, a female cardiologist, where she actually took patients who already had heart attacks, and the ones that and what she found is most of them had low testosterone. So almost the taboo thing to do in the cardiology is to put someone who has had a heart attack on testosterone. Well, she did it, and what she found out was these men actually became healthier. Not only healthier, but when you have a heart attack, usually you can see that scarring on your heart for the rest of your life. These people that were on testosterone, actually that scarring went away.
Interesting. If I get the name of that book, I'll put it in the description. But it is tough to, in general, as you know, in science, it's tough to cause and effect and what's doing what.
Right.
Did it happen because they were low on testosterone, but that made them very lethargic in their lifestyle to begin with, and that was really the problem?
Right.
Or was it the actual chemical imbalance?
Yeah.
So it's hard generally to say, but that's interesting for sure.
Yeah, I always tell people, I'm like, that there isn't a perfect experiment. You do an experiment and you try to vary all the outside influence as much as you can, but it's almost impossible to do. So I always tell people, hey, when you read something, take it with a grain of salt. And I always tell everyone, the best way you're going to find something out is just try it.
Yeah.
If it's not for you, or if it makes you feel one way or another and you don't like it, then it's not for you. But, you're never going to know, because everyone's different. Everyone's going to respond different.
Yeah, and I would just say a couple things to that is I would say two things. Number one, it does bum me out, just in general, that we're like this far along as a species with supplements and bodybuilding and athletics and all this stuff. And I can bring a supplement or a prescription or anything, and I could bring it to two doctors. They could have even went to the same school probably. And one will say, oh, it will definitely save your life. Nope, it's going to kill you.
Yep.
I mean, it drives me, literally, you can, and this is not just finding like, internet reports, one that will support it, one will say you're going to die tomorrow.
Yep.
But it's like I've literally taken certain supplements to MDs or DOs or naturopaths or all of them and said, hey, tell me what you think about this. And one will say, oh, best thing ever. You'd be great to get on. Another one, definitely do not take it. Are you crazy? That's a waste of money.
And
I'm like, and that is just so beyond aggravating that it lends itself to your idea of like, sadly, you kind of have to experiment, which I hate.
Yep.
And I don't even, I'm not saying I advise it. I just think that it's the way the world is, and it's sad. That said, in closing, I'm not a medical doctor. He's not a medical doctor. The disclaimer is we're just two dudes talking. So that's it. Okay, thanks. Bye.